After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, blurry. Okay.
It'll fix itself.
All right. Welcome to Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 169. It is August 24th, 2015, which is a Monday, at least while we're recording. And it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, hello. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles Woman Cave. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. Oh, I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Furnico, just about everywhere.
And my name is Talia. I'm known as Franciscan Gypsy, just about everywhere online.
Yeah. Okay. We'd like to welcome all new and returning viewers. Thank you for coming back, or if you're new, thank you for joining us for the first time. We hope that you'll stick around. We have a lot of fun. What do you have in your mug?
Oh, well, we're jumping too early. I have Earl Grey. Earl Grey hot.
Hot, hot, hot. I think because I messed up what I wanted to say in my notes, so I got confused. This is my St. Paul mug. I got it turned around. This must be I'm right-handed, but I drink my cup with my cup left-handed, so I have to turn this around.
I do that at work sometimes.
My St. Paul. It freaks people out who know me, because I do.
I
When I was working in my office mate always used to stare at me because I did everything right-handed, and I'd turn around and eat my soup or whatever with my left hand. It kind of freaked them out. It was kind of fun. Anyway, okay. We want to welcome our new viewers especially, although we welcome you all very warmly. We're glad to have you with us. We have Yarn Yenta 1, who is Lisa. Welcome, Lisa.
I feel like I've seen or heard you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of Fiddler on the Roof or what it is, but she does sound familiar. But welcome, Lisa. I wanted to say to her something like, I forgot what I was going to say to her, but I want to say it at the end. Right? Of course, right. I was in the play Fiddler on the Roof, and so some of their lines stick in my head. I want to welcome her. I want to welcome Better Late Than Not, who is Ginny. And I always want to say Better Late Than Never, but it's Better Late Than Not, who is Ginny. Welcome Palin Knits, who is Peggy. Welcome, Peggy. And Horse Girl 93. I don't have a name for her. I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. But welcome, Horse Girl 93. And Bashi, who is Veronica. Welcome, Veronica. And Arizona Dreaming 3, who is Sue.
Arizona Dreaming on such a winter's day.
No, wrong song. It's California, not Arizona.
Welcome to church.
Anyway, we want to welcome you all, and if you are still in the shadows and you're not official with us, please do feel free to sign up officially, join officially, so that you can be eligible.
Sign up sounds like it's you're
in the Army now. We want you to be eligible for the prizes. Of course, you can take part in the cows, but you cannot win a prize if you're not a member of the group. Tiffany, you did ask a question. Tiffany, who is Penguin Freak with some numbers after it, 88, I think.
I can't remember.
You asked about the process we're going to be using to pick prizes for the cardiac or other cows, and we do that by a random number generator. And no, I'm sorry, Chatter is not eligible.
No,
only FOs and whips, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, before we get into the cardiac read-along, we have a little more news on the toy-along front. Is it Black Horse?
Yes.
Okay. We have one more. We have our third and final co-host for the toy-along, along with us. There's 4 total. We have Black Horse, who is it just Black Horse?
I believe it is just Black Horse.
Who is Kim from the Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn podcast. She will be our third host with us. So it will be Kim, who is Black Horse, Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn podcast. Pharmagurumi, who is Mary from the Yarnaceuticals podcast. And Victorian Studio, who is Maureen from the Victorian Studio podcast. So there will be 4 chances to dip in that Cal when we get to it in about a month and a half.
I'm sorry.
And that's all I needed to say about the toy along, except to say that we're really excited about having our 3 co-hosts,
Yes.
all 3 of them. They're all 3 new to co-hosting with us, so we're
Yes.
excited about that too. It should be fun. Okay, so moving on. Cardiac.
Before Cardiac read along, just wanted to mention the baby hats. We are still collecting baby hats for the hospital. That's probably going to be ongoing.
I just remembered something. You said it was in your mug, or did you? I didn't say it was in my mug. I just said it was St. Paul.
I think you all know
in case
what's
you're
in her
wondering,
mug.
I'm drinking chai tea.
I don't think anyone's shocked.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all I really want to say about
Baby
the
hat?
baby hats is we're still collecting them, and thank you for everyone who has sent or is in the process of sending or plans to eventually send.
I know Valeria
baby
sent
hats.
some last week or late last week, and she said it should be here sometime next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Amanda Jane, I did receive your PM just before we podcasted. Thank you for letting us know that you received your prize.
Oh yes, thank you.
I forget where you're at. I know you're overseas from us. I can't remember what country you are offhand, but I'm sorry it took you so long to get it, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for letting us know.
Yes.
Okay.
And the people who bought the Pinnacle Needles mugs, your mugs are on the way. And I hope they get to you soonish. Soon. Cardiac read along. Sorry, I'm trying to absorb all possible caffeine from this tea.
We're a little tired. She was out last night. Not late for her. Well, it is for me if I get up at 3 in the morning. So and then I read afterwards. I couldn't get to sleep, so I didn't get to sleep till about 10, and I get up at 3. So I don't do well on less than 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. But hopefully I'll rectify that. I blame the Hunger Games. Yeah, the 3rd book.
Yeah, I was up reading late as well.
Okay, so
but Cardiac read along. Let's see if I have any new facts in here that I haven't explored with you. La 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 la.
I forget the words.
But there's other words.
Well, there are some words to it. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's la la la. It goes around the world.
That's the word. It goes around the world. Yeah.
La.
That, I know the la 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 part. Everybody knows the la 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 part.
Okay. Just some random facts because I lack brain cells. Worldwide, tobacco smoking, including secondhand smoke, was one of the top 3 leading risk factors for heart disease and contributed to an estimated 6.2 million deaths in 2010.
We were talking about that at the table the other night. My husband was talking about my father-in-law was a smoker, and so was his grandfather, my husband's grandfather, and they would sit in the car with the window shut when they were going from Ohio to Michigan, and it was just like all this secondhand smoke flowing around. Not good for the kids or anybody, actually.
I feel like I feel like that's just sticking out. Anyway,
it's just your head. It's your head.
I don't have a cone on my head. Anyway, I pulled it back because it's not fit to be seen.
Only heard.
But oh, I know what I wanted to hit as well. I'm using as a bookmark, something with facts on it. Because I had it somewhere. Let's see. I think we've discussed some of these, but it doesn't hurt to hit them again. They provide at my hospital what we call badge buddies with little facts on them, and as well as ways to call a rapid response, which is basically when someone is having chest pain in the hospital, get a little more assistance your way. Unfortunately, we don't just have a nice little number that automatically calls when we have to call on the overhead, which is always a little bit nerve-wracking. People always sound nervous when they call these. But
I imagine they would.
But heart attack warning signs are pain, pressure, heaviness, and in the chest that lasts more than a few minutes or that goes away and comes back. Pain or discomfort in one or both arms, the back, neck, shoulders, jaw, or stomach. and that could be radiating pain, or that could be pain that's caused by a heart attack in a different area of the heart. Shortness of breath with or without chest pain, particularly if you're a diabetic, or if you're a woman, you might not actually have the chest pain. Other signs: feeling dizzy or lightheaded, breaking out into sweat, or feeling nauseated or sick to your stomach. The most common heart attack symptom is chest pain or discomfort, but women, elderly, and diabetics are more likely to experience other symptoms such as shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, sweaty, back, neck, or jaw pain. So it's just a nice little reminder. I know I've hit those symptoms a couple different times.
And you have to pay attention to your body, because some people, especially if you get a little older, have some chronic pain.
Yes.
So you kind of have to just listen to your body. You may have the pain, but is the pain different than than what you're used to?
Yeah, I mean, if you've always had that pain and you know what it's related to, but if you've
been checked out and they said it's not that, you just have to kind of, listen to your body.
Yeah. Just know what your body's telling you, and if something seems to be a bit off, checking it out.
Right, because the worst they can say is there's nothing wrong.
Right.
The best they can say is there's nothing wrong.
You don't necessarily have to, if you're really concerned about the cost of it, I mean, it costs more to actually have a heart attack and have to, it could cost you your life.
It's worth the investment.
Yeah, it's worth the investment. I'm not very coherent today, but when am I ever?
Do I have to answer that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see what else I want to hit with that. I guess just the basic fun facts. I need to get something a little more interesting and unique for you guys. I keep hitting some of the main points because those main points are very important about what symptoms to expect. If you are a bystander on the scene and you believe someone is having a heart attack, have someone, if you do not have a phone at handy, but you have someone else available, have that person stay with the person, get a phone, and then call 911. If they're conscious, you just want to monitor them, make sure they don't slip into unconsciousness. If they slip into unconsciousness, then CPR needs to be considered as an option. When you call 911, make sure you stay on the phone with them until EMS arrives, so that they can make sure that EMS can get to the person that you believe is having the heart attack.
With the most up-to-date information.
Yes, with the most up-to-date information. Because they will walk you through what to do if the person passes out, or if anything changes. That's what they're there for. But I guess it's a little fun fact that I didn't share before. So.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Other things about the cardiac ride-along.
Yeah, we haven't shown the prizes in a long time. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Well, next week is the first week of September, so.
Well, there we go.
I don't think we did it.
Oh, is next week the first week of September? Really?
Mm-hmm. Today's the 27th.
Crazy.
Yeah. Shenandoah. SBF.
So, the cardiac ride-along has been running from July 1st. It's going to run through the end of September. The focus of this cal is to knit or crochet using the color red in some significant way, with cardiac awareness in mind.
Got some really nice projects.
Yes, we have some really awesome projects.
I feel like a broken record, but every week we get more awesome projects in there, which is really great.
Yes. And I look through them as I pick and choose who gets to be at the beginning of the podcast.
And in general, if you have a question about the red, do ask us. But in general, we kind of use your judgment, because cameras can be
iffy sometimes.
Can be kind of not truthful. So we kind of take your word for it. But do ask us if you're not sure or you are concerned. And we'll try to get back to you. Talia will get back to you. This is her baby.
Yeah. We divide the cows among ourselves. If there's more rules and it's more complex, chances are it's mom's.
Because I don't find them complex. They're very easy.
In the past, autism awareness has been kind of confusing sometimes with the rules.
Only the first one.
Yeah.
On the first one.
But we have 3 co-hosts. Tanya Marie, the Sampler Girl podcast. Kenneth, the Turbo Knitter 64 of the Turbo Knitter podcast. And Packinits 1 of the Packinits Design Group.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much, guys.
Yep, it's been great so far. And I saw a couple projects in Heidi's Packinits yarn. They looked really nice.
Yeah. We do not have any featured yarn or anything like that for
This year. This Cal.
this Cal. That being said, Heidi Packinits does have a yarn that she dyed up, where the proceeds go at least partially to Mayo Clinic.
I think it's fully, but you might be right, it's partially. But in any event, if you buy it, at least some of the proceeds go to Mayo Clinic, which is
a very good
worthy.
resource.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to step outside a second because I need to deal with this. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. What am I supposed to talk about while you stand up there doing your thing?
Pretend to be interesting. I don't know.
I don't pretend. I am, in fact, the way I am.
Are you fascinating?
I am fascinating just as I am.
My Claritin is not helping the way it should be.
It's a beautiful day outside, so the pollen is kind of heavy.
Let's see. With the Hearts of Flutter yarn, I'm not sure if it's still available. But there was at one point a choice of fingering yarn and worsted.
Well, that's good.
Whips, works in progress, and FOs, finished objects, will both be eligible to be drawn for prizes, and pen and hook and needles for the cardiac read-along. You have to post your projects, whips or FOs, in the cardiac read-along thread in the Pen Hook and Needles group on Ravelry. Any other place will not be eligible.
Right. Except for those other 2 groups, 3 groups. That are
Yeah. But you will not be eligible if you post on Facebook or if
Right.
you post on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, posting Facebook, YouTube, WordPress, Instagram, that doesn't get any chances. You have to post in the group that you want to get the prize in on their group, the Ravelry group.
And you can post 1 whip picture per project per week and 1 FO picture per project per week. And if you've already posted a whip picture for that project that week, you can still post an FO picture for it if you finished it that week. Projects may not be finished prior to the beginning of the Cal, so if it's finished prior to July, it's not eligible. But I don't care when it was started. It could have been started 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it was worked on during the period of time of the Cal. It doesn't even have to be finished during the Cal, as long as it was worked on.
Mm-hmm.
If any of my patterns are purchased during the period of the cardiac read-along, all proceeds will be donated to the American Heart Association. They're the ones who provide a lot of the information that educate both laymen and health professionals on how to take care of your heart and cardiovascular system.
She looks like a Mission Impossible or Bat person. She's got that reflection in her glasses like she's watching a screen on her glasses.
Yes. Oh, it's wrong tune. Dun, dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, dun, dun. Is Clint Eastwood.
Yes. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't have those kind of things.
No, he didn't. Okay. Prizes. 1 pattern of $10 or less to 3 different winners from True Canuck Girl. A $10 pattern for 1 winner from Victorian Studio. Knitting needles from Liz Knit Wiz 47. Knit red pattern book from us. Crochet red pattern book from Mom. I forgot to bring both of those books over.
Mine's over there, but I'm not going to get up.
Mine's way over in the other room.
Because if I get up,
Mine's across the house.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah, sort of.
Stitch markers from Naughty Hookin, who is also known as
Jenny, Cupcake.
Cupcake Crochet.
Yeah, Cupcake. And she did, her new podcast is Once Upon a Stitch, I think
Yes,
it is.
I believe it is.
Once Upon a Stitch.
But if you followed her before on YouTube, it's the same. You don't have to change your subscription or anything. Stitch mark. Oh, I said that. 1 skein of Hearts of Flutter yarn by Packinits 1. A red, black, and versatile set by and from Fiber Nymph. Same thing for Packinits. 1 skein of yarn from Mama C, and we have yarn from Bella Socks.
Right? Did you the Inversible set was from
I said that Fiber Nymph.
Fiber Nymph, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
And somebody had sent us, who was it that sent us the other set, or the other Fiber Nymphs? We had 2 Fiber Nymphs yarns.
I don't remember who it was who sent that.
Well, one of the skeins of yarn was...
Yeah, it was either the one from Bella Sock or from
Mosi. I think it was Bella Sock.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Moving on.
How many do you have?
I think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7? That can't be right. 1. I'm learning how to count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I'm not counting that.
Now I have 7. I don't know. We'll just wing it.
7. Okay.
We're equal anyway about there, so.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I'll show one first.
Okay.
And by show one, I mean waving in your general direction, not show anything at all.
It is the mystery show. What is it? Who said it was mystery projects brought to you by Silver Shed? Was that Bonnie? Who said that?
Oh, it might have been Allison.
No, it wasn't Allison. Was it? I don't think it was Allison. I don't remember who it was.
So, in the Silver Shed bag, it's a mystery project. Froggies, XX large. Can't tell you.
Okay. And the one that I can't tell you, keeping with the theme, only this is not a Silver Shed bag. This is a...
That is a Silver
Oh, it is
Shed.
a Silver Shed bag. Yes, it is a silver, but it's not large. It's a regular large, not an extra large. My Winnie the Pooh bag.
My caffeine's not taken.
I know, mine isn't either. This is also a work in progress, but it is a mystery thing. So, brought to you by Silver Shed, yet another mystery project that you cannot see. Sorry, guys.
This mystery project is not brought to you by Silver Shed. This mystery project is brought to you by Ploverbird. It's my kissing bunnies. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of creepy.
Well, you wouldn't find it creepy for...
This happens to be an actual bunny.
Well, no, it's not.
It's an actual bunny. See,
Is it real?
It's moving. It's little.
Is
real
it
or not real? Real.
So, Kissing Bunny's bag, secret project. Sorry, we got attacked by Bunny.
The bunny who's not real, right?
Yes. Secret project in here. Unfortunately, this is Ploverbird's sweater size bag before she stopped making bags.
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely, yeah. We're not sure she might start up again, but wonderfully sized bag. Awesome bag. It is full of fabric.
Okay, my next one. I can actually show you this one, I believe. Let me see. What did I do? Oh, I skipped one. Okay. In my Knitting's My Bag sweater size bag, Monet. I know it's not Monet, but I call it that. This is my Hopes and Dreams project from the Just Knit It shawl pattern by Susan Ashcroft. And I've only done a couple of rows on this, but it's still growing. I like this pattern, even if it is on teeny tiny little 3 needles, US 3s. But it's growing, like so. I really like this.
And hopefully the diary's doing okay. I understand she was having some health issues.
Yeah, she was. I don't know if she's feeling better now or not, but I don't think she's slated to be at the Shenandoah
this year
in September, so we'll see if we see her there.
But she's well worth getting. I mean, that's one from Mistake Ones.
This is Gourmet Stash.
Yeah,
and
Gourmet Stash.
I didn't realize she even did yarn, and this was one of her mistake yarns, and I snapped both skeins up because I really liked it. This is definitely my colors. Okay, so that's that.
Okay, so next project will not be that one. I ended up taking out my swatch for, or discarding swatches that I had and taking out the swatch I was in the process of making for the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival class. I'd taken it more so my mom wasn't taking a class.
And I decided to drop it
By
because
yourself.
I decided to drop it because my when I tried to do the swatch, my other hand started bothering me, and I said, you know what, it's not worth it under pressure. I'm going to just do what I have to do. So I've got a partial swatch, so I'll have to tear out. But I quit. I backed out of the class.
Yeah, and I did too. We're doing 2 different classes, but she didn't want to take a class unless someone else took a class because she's a little social butterfly.
I am not, in fact.
But
Not really.
very much so. But yes, talked about that one. Talked about that one. Well, actually, this is at the end of the row. Let me mark this off and show this one.
La 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 la.
Because this one you gotta catch ones at the end of the row. Because I don't think the last couple times I've shown it to you I've been at the end of the row. So, this is the horse blanket shawl, which is the Gaskell pattern by Sarah Jordan. I'm using brown sheep lamb's pride worsted in the colorway charcoal heather on US 6 needles. And it was initially started for the Undead Yarn shawl cowl, and it's obviously not finished.
Turn that carefully and lose that stitch on that side.
There we go. This is quite large. It seems to be taking forever, partially because I haven't been working on it.
That happens.
It's
It's a scratchy show.
I only decrease 1 stitch every 4 rows, and it takes a long time. And this yarn, I think this is a bulky weight yarn on small needles.
Small what needle?
Smaller.
Oh, smaller.
US 6, which is a 4mm.
Yeah, that's usually for DK or worsted.
And if I work it too long, it bothers my wrists a little bit. I think because it's just a very heavy fabric. I look forward to having this as a reading shawl, but it's going to take a while.
No rush. You still have a couple.
It would be that's
would be
our
my
grandparents.
parents. Yeah, my grandparents are
Not your
traveling.
grandparents.
My parents are traveling by train, and they said they would call.
From Lawrence Memorial.
Oh no, it's a hospital.
Hang on, let me put you guys on hold.
We're
Sorry
back.
about that.
We owe my parents an apology.
That was work.
That was, yeah, her work. Because normally my parents have perfect timing. The climax of a movie, I start a podcast, whatever they call.
They still have time.
They still have time, yeah.
But anyway, yes, I look forward to having this, especially since I've been doing more reading lately. I look forward to having this to just sort of snuggle in, even though it's scratchy and feels like a horse blanket.
Mm-hmm.
So, your turn.
My turn.
Your turn.
Okay, let's see here. I already showed that one. Okay, this project is in my, another one of my knitting's my bags. This is my Angel's bag, sweater size bag that Lois made me. And
she found the fabric for you and everything.
she did find it for me. I wanted Angels. And the fabric that I wanted, they didn't make anymore, so she found me another one. But this is my Way It shawl by Susan B. Anderson?
Yeah.
Susan B. Anderson. This is the Way It shawl 3. And I'm really liking this. This is a lot of fun. But this is the Yowza What a Skein in the Pangea colorway. Well, it's A-E-A.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, so this is how far I've gotten. That is the back. This is the front here.
Although once it's done, it won't really matter so much.
But I guess it's just when I do the...
Yeah, for knowing when your
The ribbing.
increases are.
Anyway, so that's... Can't really see the detailing very well, but...
It's a very slight detailing
Yeah,
on the
in the
center.
center there, but...
There.
But I'm enjoying this very, very much. This is another very fun pattern that I don't have to think overly much about, which is nice because my skill level is not huge. with the knitting. I'm enjoying this. It's fun.
I want to next do the Weighted Shawl 1, I believe.
I have to see which one I want to do next.
The shape is kind of similar to Anastasia's shawl.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. And actually, speaking of Anastasia's shawl, sorry, go on with your statement.
I was thinking about maybe doing a, I have a teal color that in Miss Babs, and I want to do my next one, and I think I only have one.
Yeah. I have an orange, yellow, red that I want to do my other one
I
in.
think I lost my tip thing.
Protector?
Yeah. It's the same color. I think it was the same color as my skirt, so I don't know where it went. Oh,
Did it all fall down?
fall down.
Anyway.
I will pull Kenneth and just do this for now, which I was doing before.
My Cloverbird special order Batman bag is the Midnight Shawl, which is the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel.
There it is.
And I'm using Undead yarn, Werewolf in the colorways Purple Vein and Midnight. And this is what Midnight looks like. You'll see, I actually really love Midnight. And Purple Vein is this right here.
That's pretty.
And I am using a G hook, and I think it's a 3.5. I'm using E hook. And it builds itself slowly but surely.
This goes really quick once you get going.
Yeah, I just haven't worked on a whole lot this week.
That's pretty.
It is.
Kind of dappled.
It is. And I look forward to getting to the gray. Just not quite ready for that yet.
I think I forgot to say what needles I'm working on. These are size 8s.
Well, you don't usually say. I just felt like doing it the past couple.
I usually do. I just forgot. Chai-goose. I like chai-goose. Okay.
Oui.
All right. Okay. The next project is in which bag?
I have no idea. Oh, I forgot to say what the horse blanket's in. The Ploverbird TARDIS bigger on the inside bag.
This is not the right bag. This one. Okay. This one got a little bit of work, but not too much. This is in my Ploverbird medium-size owl bag that Davina gave me last year for Christmas. And I'm using, it's called the Cotton Candy Baby Hat Project by the from the Fringe It Fun pattern by 10 Hours or Less. This is our very own George. And I got, one of my acquisitions is on here, one of my stash enhancements, these 11-inch fixed circulars from Knit Picks, because my other cable was too long. They don't have interchangeables for 11s in Knit Picks. They have to be fixed.
that they do for 11s in Chai-Gu.
They might, but I guess they don't make the small tips or something. So this is where I'm at. It's coming along. It's not a difficult pattern. I like it.
Little Scarter.
It is garter, except at the top it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a free pattern by George, so if you're interested in it, by all means check it out. I like it.
It's our very own George.
Our very own George. And George was probably waiting to see if I actually finish this, because I start things and I don't finish it. But I'm going to try to finish this. I just have to take it easy with my hands.
Apparently we're more process knitters, crocheters than we realize. Because this year's been a year of starting things and not necessarily finishing them.
Mm.
Not because we frog them, but just because we start more things.
Mm-hmm. Want to do all the things.
There's camera now. There
It's
we
your
go.
turn.
Yes, it is.
And those are on 11s, believe it or not. Not on 8s or 10s, on 11s.
In my turtle bag,
Turtle.
I had to move this out of my Kikiboo autism bag because
It didn't play nice with the puzzle pieces?
the yarn, a full skein of this yarn is just a little too big for the bag for moving around in it. Because it's not caked up it's a loose skein, and it just wasn't moving. If it had been a cake, it would have been fine. I just didn't feel like caking it up. This is Sprinkles. It's a 7th pattern by Kelly Brooker. That is the actual name of the pattern, is 7th pattern, or just 7th. I'm using Baby Bee Sweet Delights prints in the colorway Sprinkles. So yes, yet another 7th hat. This is one of the yarns I picked up at Hobby Lobby.
That's so pretty. It makes me think of Rainbow Bright or My Little Ponies or something. One of those 80s.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Oh, it's something that was really popular when I was in college. It was a bunch of unicorns who wanted to go to Candy Mountain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there was something like that on that stupid show that Dad used to like to watch with Davina about the Candy Mountain with Captain Knuckles.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But anyway. Now we're starting to get different colors in
Yeah,
here.
pretty. Look at that. Very pretty.
And I just love this hat pattern anyway. And it's always people always get very impressed when I work on DPNs when I'm in public talking to them. My friend Ela's, her parents just moved in this area. Ela's and I went to college together, and she basically was a third roommate without being a roommate. It was not uncommon to find her sleeping in my room, or wearing my clothes.
Hopefully when you weren't in them.
Yes. But there was a period of time where my roommate was engaged to someone, Ela's was engaged to someone. I was pretty sure at that point I was, going to marry the guy I was dating. So we would have like a girls' night just talking about the guys we were dating at the time. It was a great time. But anyway, Ela's moved to this area with her baby and husband, and was mesmerized by the DPN. She wants to learn to knit. And if she stays in this area, I hope that I can give her a little personal instruction. But I had a little free time at work when I was working on another one of the hats, and the radiology tech just could not stop staring. He was just entranced by this. So DPNs, did you ever want to impress someone? And I just love them for baby hats. I don't like making socks, but
Valeria thought that was funny.
a lot of people do. But this gives me my DPN fix. There we go.
That sound usually precedes bubbles.
I think that sound is actually preceding the fact that I accidentally have Facebook up. Yes.
I do not wish to watch Facebook while we're talking.
Bye-bye, Facebook. But I did not realize I still had Facebook up. Because the Bakery Bears patrons only forum is rather addictive.
It is.
Because
and busy.
Yes, and I don't even necessarily want to comment there. I kind of do what I sometimes do when I don't have any brain power to comment in our group. I just look, ooh, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, my only complaint, I'm using I am using the carbons. My only complaint is the paint is that tells me the numbers is starting to wear off. What I really want to eventually get is signature DPNs, but I just can't justify the cost. I stare at them, and then I weep over the cost, and I leave the site.
Why do you torture yourself?
Because... Anyway.
I don't see the need to have something super expensive to do that.
I just like the fact that there are different colors for each of those sizes.
So paint a little band on there.
I'm afraid it'll ruin the way it,
Maybe not if it's thin enough.
I don't want to ruin the way the yarn flows on here. And I know I could just get a needle,
Don't put those near your eyes. You think that you were smart enough not to put sharp objects near your eyes. Brain damaged.
One of those needle measuring things. I could always...
A gauge?
Yes. I can always get a gauge and throw it in my hat bag, but... Because I have to have the 2 different sizes. But I do enjoy these needles. I just wish that the paint was a little more permanent. Because after a couple of hats, it's already starting to wear down.
I need to stretch.
Stretch.
Okay, stretch. All right. My next project is the Ashley baby hat from the Rib Newborn Hat. I've done several of these. This is by Michelle Gaylor.
And the baby hats are for our baby hat drive for
Yes.
my hospital.
And I'm using an H hook, which is a 5mm, and the yarn of the Ashley is the Yarn Bee Ashley yarn in the pale aqua colorway. It seems to me they should put something about the specs, but so this is. I really haven't done too much on this. I've been taking things really easy and slow. So
Those specs drive me insane. I just want to pick them all out.
they look like little
I just want to go pick, because they look like they don't belong there.
They look pretty. It's like a tweed kind
I
of.
don't do well with tweed.
I don't do tweed, but I like this. This is pretty.
Because the entire time I make anything with tweed, I want to be picking out the tweedy bits.
And this is, I thought at first it might be a light bulky, but it's a worsted. And this is in my Plover Bird. I think this is a medium.
Yeah, that was for me.
Hedgehogs. Or Animals in the Park, bad, which I really love. Which is funny because it's not really my colors, but there you go. Okay.
Can we do both?
Two.
Okay, I have two as well. So, in my nurse's cap silver shed bag, this is the X large, not the XX large. It's a new project. This also includes stash enhancement. I fell down.
Boom.
Boom. And I blame Baker Bears.
Mm-hmm. They can take the hit.
And everyone in the Baker Bears patrons group who is picking up this yarn. I just couldn't hold it in any longer. I got bullfinch. I want every single one of these colors for the birds. I want them.
Precious.
This is the signature 4-ply, which is a fingering weight. And this is Blueface Leicester.
Well, 35%.
Yeah. 75% wool, 25% nylon. And 35% Blueface Leicester, whatever the heck that's pronounced as.
Everybody I've heard it says Leicester.
So, I am actually knitting Kay Bryony Bear's sock knitter shawl. This really impressed Liz too. Everyone always who's not a knitter thinks I'm impressively changing colors and doing color work. Because this works so well with this pattern.
It's really pretty. And as you go, of course, it's going to be,
well,
more
the red,
breaks. But
the red is becoming smaller. The orange red is becoming smaller. Sorry about the needles. There we go. I love this. It does actually look like the coloring of the bird. And the edging is going to be in this orangey red. They call it paprika. So I am really very much loving this. And I did not have the appropriate needle size and appropriate cable size available in my Chai-Goos. So I am using my Hayas. And the needle is US 5 3.75 millimeter. And that is what Kay suggests for the pattern. I did not do a gauge swatch.
it's a shawl.
It's a shawl. I have more yarn than I need to make said shawl. And when my paprika comes in for the edging, I'll have more yarn than I need to make the edge. So I can go as long as I want.
Even if you were doubling it.
Yeah.
Or almost doubling it.
So I can really go as long as I want. Which I might well do. It all depends on what I feel about the size of this when I'm done. I have, however, taken the liking to wear my shawls around my neck. Kind of like a bandana cowboy kind of style.
Cow type of thing.
So I like the flexibility of being able to wear it both ways.
Okay, well, let's see. I can't show you my next one.
I went from having absolutely never knitted any shawls to having completed 2 this year and having a few on the needles.
I can't show you this. It's in my Knit Is My Bag Autism Awareness Sweater Size Bag. The yarn is the yarn I dyed in the gray. Can't show it to you.
Can you show the one that does match the other thing that we just showed?
What?
The next part.
Well, don't you have one more?
Yeah, but I want this one close to the other one.
Well,
Because
poop doodles.
then we can show it together.
We'll show it together afterwards. Okay, this is my Plover Bird
Oh, so it's not the bad one.
medium-sized Plover Bird bag for the tea.
I'm diving in.
And
She's going in!
this yarn is also part of my stash enhancements. Talia gave it to me. She bought me this colorway. It is the Mallard colorway in the signature 4-ply. I have 2 of these.
And what's your color that's the
Well, I'll get to it.
Okay.
This is the and I am doing Kay Jones sock knitter shawl.
because we can't do things at the beginning when it makes sense.
No.
We're knitting our stuff with a British yarn and a British pattern. When the Brittalong's almost finished, we have not a prayer of finishing this in
Yeah,
time.
that's okay. I'm having fun with it.
Yes.
I'm using a size 5. These are my knit pits, interchangeable size 5s.
We come late to the party.
And I'm not quite as far as Talia is, but this is the Mallard colorway, and it is really pretty. Let me see here. That's right, I just did this way.
This pattern is addictive because you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to go to one more section. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to go over one more color change.
This
And
is curling. I can't really show it.
and this really does look like a mallard duck to
It's
me.
really pretty. And the color I'm using, this has got greens and blues and kind of a tan and then off-white. And the colorway that they suggest if you're doing socks to be the contrast, for me, is juniper. And I thought, oh, juniper is green. No, it's blue. It's blue. So that's very apropos for me, even though green would have been fine too.
But you can see that it has similarity.
And you can see that she's a lot further than I am. There we go.
But her color is definitely mallardy, while mine's bullfinchy. And I have more grays and whites in this kind of charcoaly color with my orange, where she has brown. You're showing the wrong side.
No, this is right.
Yeah, you had it facing you.
Oh.
Whereas here's, on the mallard, they have that little bit of green that's right near that white. And then they have a little bit of blue that's right near the white. And then they have the band and they have the green. And the main body is blue. Actually, this is about what a mallard would look like, just like that. It's quite perfect.
I love the yarn. Talia was saying this is her, she hasn't done as many shawls ever. I have 3 knitted shawls on the needles, and all 3 of them, I blame Kay.
Yes.
All 3 of them are for Kay and Dan's knit-alongs.
I hope you're writing Kay and Dan down, because they're going to be talked about a lot, I feel.
I don't even know what I did with my thing.
It's on your lap.
But anyway, I'm enjoying this a lot. This is a fun pattern. All 3 of these patterns that I'm knitting are a lot of fun, and I will probably do them again if I ever finish them. So
I want to do this in a heavier yarn at some point, too.
yeah,
Although
I would.
That'll be after I do every single one of the bird colors in this.
Well, they have it in worsted. The
True.
bird colors in worsted. I just don't know if they have a contrasting yarn.
And I wouldn't be sure how much to buy. And the yard is just so good for this.
Yes, it's a little pricey for us for me in the worsted weight. But the fingering weight's not too
The
bad.
fingering weight price is
Very
pretty
good.
phenomenal.
And they're
actually.
great over there. They're really nice.
Um,
It doesn't. In fact, I just ordered the contrasting yarn. Talia gifted me this. I bought the contrasting yarn for both of us, and I bought it Saturday, and they already said they shipped it.
well, they
So-
contacted me privately. One of their representatives. They were like, "Oh, hey, your email address sounds like a business. Did you want any sort of if you're going to be using a lot of our yarn for your business, did you want any sort of discount for your designs?" And I'm sitting here like, what a perceptive person. At this point, I haven't had to order enough in bulk from them, but I am very, very impressed. They're very personable. She's like, yeah, make sure you ask for me because I'll remember you and know what you're talking about. They're amazing.
Very, very, very good.
It took me a while to respond to an email because I'm like, okay, we're in America. We don't use grams and kilos, and we use it in the hospital, but I still had to translate it. And it takes me a while, so I had to scratch my head and make sense of her email because I'm a stupid American. But I thought it was very sweet. Not that she sees this podcast, but
Yeah.
Janice of West Yorkshire Spinners, I salute you.
No, she seems like a nice person.
But yes, the one that I have been waiting for, shimmy shimmy.
Are you doing the FOs now?
No, this is the special Allison.
Oh.
Allison must always be at the end, even though I could almost as easily say Vleer and Vonnie. And Heidi Packiness has been the one who wants me to
Take a panel.
add a panel. Okay, so I think that's on the right side. The Fisherman's Cardigan, which is the Sarah pattern by Jennifer Hagen, and I'm using Barocco Comfort Chunky in the Barley colorway. And needle size, I think these are like 10.5. Oh, there's 11s.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your interchangeable 11s.
Right. The Chai Goose.
The Chai Goose. Oh, I'm almost there.
Because that feels like what I'm using just by looking at it. This
Yeah.
is exactly what I'm using for the whatever pattern I'm using it for.
Halfway there, oh, living on a prayer.
That's pretty good.
So yes, it is developing quite nicely. Trying to see if that looks okay there, because right here is where the decreases started developing, and I wasn't sure if I needed to add another cable there, but I think that looks okay. I needed to see it because that's the underarm. But
Actually, kind of the back of the arm.
back of the arm. Ugh, poke myself in the face.
Underarm is
It's right here. It's right here.
right there.
Inner arm is what this is.
Yes.
But it seems to be okay. Basically, when I was doing decreases, eventually I end up in the middle of the cable, and there is no cable written for right there when the decreases start eating up 2 cables. So there's like this panel of nothing there.
Well, it makes its own design. It makes kind of
Yeah. But, and this is definitely a pattern that's written for a more experienced knitter, because there are some things that are assumed you're going to figure out on your own. But first sleeve is almost finished. I have a couple more repeats. Actually, I might not have to add that much, because I am on, that's not the right one. I lost one of my notebooks to my friend's 1-year-old. He got a hold of it and was walking around the room with it.
Almost 2. He's
Almost 2.
actually a year and a half.
Yeah. He was walking around the room with it, and I don't know what happened to it.
He ate it.
And he's got a pen out of it, too.
Oh, they're going to love you for that.
But, yeah, I'm headed into my decrease number 15, then 5 more rows, decrease number 16, 5 more rows, decrease 17. So I think that might actually take me to the length I really like, which is impressive. I might go a little longer. But yes, I love this. I'd love to have it done by the time we go to retreat, but I'm not pushing myself. But it would be pretty awesome to at least have it for Boston.
Does that have a collar to it?
It does. It has a shawl collar.
Okay.
So, very happy with that. It's a little longer than quarter length sleeves.
You should see the sweater that Tilly's doing. It's pretty. She
Um,
did it actually. She finished.
Yeah, I was gonna say she finished one. I saw it on the Summer of S, which is Summer of S is run by the Fibertown podcast, and that's Chain of Fools, who is Emily. And I love the Summer of S. I've always loved the Summer of S because you have to be creative in making
Yeah.
your projects somehow fit in S.
And she's pretty lenient.
Yes, she is. So almost every single finished object I've done this summer has gone in the Summer of S.
I have to look and see if there's anything else I can put in there. If I can
Someone
figure out.
put in dyed yarn as self-dyed.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah, I can do that.
I
I can do that.
meant to tell you earlier and I forgot.
I can do that. That gives me 3 more projects.
So, the saga of the cabled sweater continues.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Do you have any FOs?
I do. Do you have any?
No.
Okay.
No FOs.
Let me continue packing away because
I want to see FOs now. Now.
this sweater is not quite fitting in this bag yet. It's barely
Do
fitting
not
in this
care.
bag.
We wish to see your FOs now.
There we go.
Not creepy lava bags. FOs.
Tweet. Okay. First FO. So I have dose of them.
Those are ones.
Dose of them. As you probably figured by me starting another baby hat, I finished my little green 7th baby hat.
You should call it the little green giant hat.
This is the small newborn size,
So cute.
so this would fit the average baby.
It's so cute.
And I love, you could see the pattern a little bit better than you might have been able to on the previous two hats. It's like a basket weave, and I think it's absolutely adorable.
Or a waffle.
Or a waffle. I think yeah, it's more like a waffle. I think it's absolutely adorable.
It won't focus though. It doesn't show the. There you go.
There you go. That is absolutely precious. And it's so easy. The first hat I made, the camo one, was large newborn. This is small, normal newborn. And the next one, the one I'm working on now, is a large newborn. I like alternating because there are large-headed babies. Babies are getting bigger. But every once in a while you have one who needs a little hat, who has a little head and needs a hat. So, then I finished for the Cardiac Ride Along and the Favorite Color Along, which is the Bakery Bears patrons only cow. My Way It Shawl 3. And this was using Miss Babs yarn in the Gotta Love Me colorway.
I think so.
Yes. I love this. It has not been blocked yet, and it is uncertain whether or not I will decide to block it, because it really doesn't need it. It's only if I really want to get more space, size out of it. I love the way it falls.
It's pretty.
And look at that ribbing. Beautiful. I probably could have gone one more row, but I wasn't sure I'd have enough for the bind off. It was just a little iffy, so I went ahead and stopped it. The bind off takes forever and a day because you've got like 20 million different stitches. This is one way to wear it. My favorite way to wear it is probably going to be this way. It's nice and comfy around the neck, and I really enjoyed making this. I will be making some of the other Way It shawls. My next one I plan on making will be most likely be Yowza 1. I'm not as fond of Yowza 4, but I might change my mind.
I don't remember what Yowza 4 is.
Yowza 4 is the asymmetrical one.
I wonder if that's going to start from the small
I'm-
and just keep going.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yowza 1 is the one that's shaped a little bit more like Anastasia's, where it's kind of rectangular.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And then Yowza 2 is the semicircular, but it's long.
Oh, I like that. I hope it doesn't have ruffles. I don't like ruffles.
I think most, I'm trying to remember if there's ruffles or not.
She usually gives you an option of things.
Well, she does for this one. I don't know if she does it for all of them. And then there's this one, which is a
Triangle.
more of a triangle, but the way it wraps around is very nice. And the last one, Yowza 4, is asymmetrical. And if you want to see them all worked up by one person, watch Karen of the Round the Twist. Heavens, Karen, I'm sorry. I've watched you forever. You think I'd remember. Of the Round the Twist podcast. She's gone through and is working all of them. She finished this one recently. And she's headed into the 4th one. But yes, that is all for that.
Excuse me.
No,
Let's see here. I'm not asking you.
you're telling.
Yes. All right. Anything next on the hooks and needles graphic?
I'm trying to finish with all my hooks and needles.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish, even though I keep adding stuff.
And I don't count designs as adding new things.
Right.
Because I've got one for which I am waiting yarn.
Okay, royalties. Excuse me.
The only royalty I had on our show.
One of the royalties that I got a message from the person I don't want to embarrass the person, so I don't want to say anything, but I got a message from the person I ordered from telling me that, and I just thought it was funny, that they went to mail my package, thought they mailed it off, and looked in the car about a week later and found it under the front seat. So I should be getting that in the next week or two, and I will show it to you then.
I have not seen this secret thing.
It was funny. It made me laugh. I did pick up for
Sounds like something I would do.
for a pattern that will be a secret pattern, and that's all I can tell you about it. Some yarn. And it's Knit Picks Brava worsted in the denim and dove gray. So this is enough, more than enough.
Oh, that's perfect for the colors for that
I
pattern.
think so.
Do you have the third color you use?
No, not it's up there, and I'm not
Okay.
sure. I didn't order that anyway, so.
But you do have it.
I think so, and if I don't like the way it looks, I'll have to.
Well, I have some of the one that I used.
Well, I don't want it quite that dark.
No, the light one.
I'm not sure about that light either. I'll have to see. Because that denim is so medium, it kind of have to have something bright. But
Well, I have the turquoise coming in case Davina doesn't like the other color.
I'll take a look at that too. You saw my my fixed circulars from Knit Picks. You saw my Yorkshire spinners. I won a pattern. Maureen from Victorian Studios had a contest to name her cute little fox, which Valeria, I think, won the contest in terms of that's the name she went with. I think he decided to call it Prince Albert. But my number was randomly picked to get the prize for participating. So that was how I got my shawl pattern. Everything I'm doing for Kay's pattern is free.
Except for the alternate, the edging.
Right, but right now it's all free.
Yeah.
Ty gave me the yarn for the body of the shawl, and Maureen gifted me the pattern because I won the contest. That was very nice. Thank you very much to both of you. And then today's mail brought a really nice surprise. Never mind.
And I did have things like from Stamps.com and stuff arrive that I'm using for packaging stuff and sending them out. So because getting to the post office is a bit of a difficulty for me with my hours. But that doesn't really count.
I'm looking at the address. I'm going, Sue. Okay. Family Diva, Sue, sent me a nice little package with a nice little note that I haven't had a chance to read all the way through because I got it just before I left to go to church. She said, you like the Chai-Gu fixed. She said, I tried them. I didn't care for them. She doesn't like the little
Yeah, that's
bump.
kind of weird, the bump.
She sent me
I'm not sure how I'd feel about that either.
3 fixed Chai-Gu sets of needles because she knows I like them.
No, this is not the red lace set.
No, this is the others, but this is fine. It's the same needles, just a different cable.
Different cable.
And
actually, for people who don't like the red lace, this might be perfect because it's probably not as stiff.
it's very nice. She gave me a 40-inch cable size 5, a 24-inch size 11, and a 40-inch size 7. I'm assuming that the 24-inch maybe is good for hats or something, or maybe a toy or something. I don't know. But anyway, these are really good sizes, and I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much, Sue. It came as a complete surprise.
Yes,
And
so sweet.
I may have squeed. And I will read the letter, and because I haven't had a chance to read the note, which I know was, I glanced over. It was very, very sweet. But it really, it made me happy. It made my day. Thank you for thinking of me, Sue. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so
we might actually get done before himself comes
I
home.
was thinking about that. All right, autobiography.
Because of Deanne being Deanne and talking about Roman history on Bakery Bears, I've got a bug to refresh.
A bow?
A bug to refresh some of my memory on ancient Roman history. Started picking up where I left off on my Great Courses Roman History class and watched a couple of those lectures. Which then, when when I was listening to the part where they're talking about the Greeks conquering the conquerors in a more under the table sort of way, where they were taken to Rome as slaves, but they respected the Greeks so much that they would let them tutor their children, and so they were conquering the conquerors culturally. But that made me think of a book that I have enjoyed since I was a teenager.
Oh, I love that book.
The
I
Robe.
love it.
I have been reading it on Kindle, but then I found my physical form and decided to alternate between the two and just find where I was in the physical book and mark it as I move in the Kindle in case I want to read the physical book. Because I'm getting to the point where I kind of prefer physical, and if I already have the physical, why not read from the physical?
I have an old paperback, little.
I remember. I think that's why I got this one.
The writing is so tiny in it.
The writing's pretty small in this one.
Not
too.
as small as that one.
But there's several typos in my Kindle version, which is part of why I wanted to grab my physical one. Because the Kindle version is good if I want to knit and read at the same time. But so here's The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. This is a classic. The movie is not nearly as good as the book.
It's a good movie, but it's got secondary type actors.
It's just not very well acted.
Well, you've got Victor Mature in there. I mean,
Isn't Victor Mature Demetrius?
I think so.
And the actors are also a lot older than the characters are. The main character, Marcellus, is only about 23 in this book.
Who played Marcellus? I forget.
I can't even remember who played Marcellus.
I think that
but Victor Mature was a lot older than Demetrius. Demetrius is only 25.
I think Simmons, Gene Simmons was in that.
But basically, if you've never read The Robe, you're following the story of, and this is fiction, but it's historical fiction. You're following the story of Marcellus, who is the Roman soldier who wins in the dice game, wins the robe of Jesus after the crucifixion. You're following his life first before that point, and then you see how that event affects his life afterwards.
It's excellent.
I like Marcellus, but my favorite character has always been Demetrius, his Greek slave. And it was that relationship that Roman class made me think of that I had to pull this out of the mothballs. And as you can see, I started reading this last night or the night before. Now, granted, this is a quick read for me because I've read this before, and I'm not reading this in a lot of detail. I'm reading it, but focusing on parts more than others, some parts more than others, because I've read this multiple times before. So I'm 150-some pages in. Good book if you've never read it. I would not suggest the movie.
It's not that bad. It's better to read the book first, though. I read the book first. What else?
Mugs are still in the Etsy shop, PHN mugs and Franciscan Gypsy Designs mugs. Still trying to eat healthier. I'm using, if you guys are on Fitbit or on
FitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal, I am on both of those. Say hi to me. I will accept your friendships.
But you have to let her know who you are.
Yeah.
If she doesn't know your name.
Yeah. I am also still reading Children of Henry VIII. I am just about halfway through. I love this bookmark.
Yeah, I do. That is such a... I use mine all the time.
This was a gift from one of our lovely viewers.
Yes.
But the book wasn't. The lovely bookmark was.
Yeah.
The book was a suggestion from an author suggestion from Dan Jones of the Bakery Bears. So I'm just about halfway through Children of Henry VIII. The young King Edward has died, and they're trying to figure out who really gets the throne, Jane Grey or Mary. So very interesting so far. As I enjoyed the last book I read by Alison Weir as well. And while I was visiting with my friends from school, because I knew Elisa's husband James in school too. I knew them before they even were thinking of dating. But he's a history buff as well, and he suggested to me another author. And I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Dan, the author, John Guy. And apparently he writes a lot in the Tudor period as well. What?
I wrote Kay and Dad.
No.
Apparently, Dan is now Dad.
But John Guy has a couple of interesting books. Some of them are the same topics that I've been covering, but I want to read his one on Thomas Becket and Thomas More before I hit like his Children of Henry VIII and all the ones I'm already reading for this author. Because I will want to read the others eventually, just because you get different points of view and you get a deeper view of what's going on if you read different authors. But yeah, that's pretty much for me. Vacation's coming up soon for September.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I finished the second book in the series of Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and have started the final book, which is Mockingjay, and I'm over halfway through that. And I started that 3 days ago, I guess. And what's slowing me down is I keep rereading things. So I get attached to characters, and I'm not happy with what they're doing to one of my favorite characters. So I figure if I read it again, they're going to have to change it. So,
she loves PETA.
I do. PETA's my favorite character. And he and Katniss have to be together. That's all there is to it. And if it's not right, then I'm going to write Suzanne Collins and tell her she has to change it. So, but she's well worth reading. She's a really, really good author, and I think I will have to look into her other stuff. Be a toss-up before if I do some of her books or go and read the Divergent series, which I also want to read. I've written over 2,000 words to the shared story, which is quite a bit for me in a week. I was happy about that. And I think I'm fairly close to being able to hand it over to Talia. We'll see if it'll be next week or the week after.
One book I did pick up that I didn't mention. I picked up Ben-Hur on Kindle. I have a thing with one of my coworkers who also goes to my church. For over a year, he's been trying to get me to watch Ben-Hur. And I'm not a huge fan of Charlton Heston. I don't dislike him, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. And that movie is an endeavor.
It's long.
It's a long movie, and it's not something you can watch when you're tired.
Her perennial state of
my
being.
perennial state of being. So he asks me about every time he sees me for the past year, if I've seen Ben-Hur. And he knows I'm never going to see this movie, most likely. But
he has hope.
Hope springs eternal. So I picked up the book Ben-Hur for free on Kindle, and I need to like sit down and read it, and then be like, wow. Now I still haven't watched the movie, but have you read the book?
Because he probably has.
He keeps busy though.
Well, maybe when he was younger though.
That's true.
But I did start a new book. I started Introduction to the Devout Life by St. Francis de Sales, and I'm enjoying that. Bubbles. I'm enjoying that a lot. But that's a book that kind of have to take slowly because there's a lot in there to think about. Mm-hmm. It's not difficult to read. You just
have to think.
It's not a storybook. It's a meditation. Mm-hmm. So and kind of a spiritual guidance. So I'm enjoying that. As I said, I did write almost a little over 2,000 words to shared story, and I put together a list of prompts for next week when I'm prompt mistress for one of my writing groups. That's the first week of September, so I'm looking forward to that. I guess it's not really next week, it's the week after. Looking forward to Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival, so if you're going to be there, look us up. We're going to be working on Friday. We'll be there Saturday. I don't know how long we'll be there after the podcast or meetup, but
yeah, it all depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
It might be fun to see what. I mean, we don't know what's going on for their 10th anniversary.
Right, we don't know what's happening, but we will be there Friday helping and Saturday
morning helping.
Morning early, just the 1 hour most likely helping, and then we're going to go do our thing, look around, maybe buy a few things, look at the animals and that kind of stuff, and then we'll head on home. But we hope to see you. If you see us, do feel free to stop us and say hi. We love speaking to everybody. It's always fun. That's the highlight of the Fiber Festival is seeing you guys. Okay, I want to. I have a shout out for Victorian Studios, and I'm not sure why. But Maureen, consider yourself shouted out. I don't know why I am, but there you go.
You probably should have written details.
I usually do. Maybe she must have. I think what happened was she shouted us out on her podcast.
So you're shouting at her back?
So I want to thank her for that. I think she shouted us out because she's doing the toy along. I forget. So yeah, I've acknowledged you, even though I don't know why I'm acknowledging
and
you.
people, I'm trying to keep up in the threads. I am behind. Part of it's just I'll do a little bit and then I want to craft. And I know that I have messages. I have read my messages. I just have not responded to them yet. I do intend on responding. It takes me a while.
As for me, the injury that I'm dealing with my hand is also bothering my typing. So I will do as much as I can, and the welcome threads, I will probably do group welcomes as I have been. I do try to welcome you personally.
And thank
via
you
PM.
guys for keeping PHN the kind of community we want it to be, for keeping it so active and awesome.
Yes, you guys are great. We couldn't do it without you.
Nope.
So thank you for welcoming new people when we can't. Thank you for keeping the threads going, for chattering, for having a lot of fun.
For making just such a pleasant place to be.
It's a great place to be, and we love you for it. I do want to say that I'm answering my PMs slowly. I answer them, and then they pile up again because I'm slow. But that's okay. Don't stop. That's fine. Just know that it takes me a while to get to you. Polly, I hope you got my response regarding the baby hats and crocheting toys. If you didn't, let me know, and I will resend it to you. And I don't know what Polly
81.
Okay. All right.
Polly, thanks for the Instagram suggestion for other kinds of Greek yogurts as well. I'll check that out.
Okay. Want to thank Eleanor Zinn, Sissy Knitting and Crochet, Amanda Holly, who's Mama Hicks, and Robin. I'm sorry, Robin. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but your last name. But you guys all had commented on our YouTube, and we appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Is there anything else we need to be talking about?
No, I think that we are good.
Wow. I think we finished before my husband got home.
Well, let's go ahead and hit stop so we can definitely say
All
that.
right. So we want to wish you all a very blessed week full of every good thing, knitting, crocheting, whatever crafting you like to do, or anything else you like to do. And we hope to see you next week here in the Woman Cave, PHN. This is Pen Hook and Needles Podcast, episode 169, I think.
Yes, it is.
God bless, and that's a wrap.